All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So today we're using the Zenfone 9 in Pro Video mode with HDR audio at 4K 60 to cover the Z Fold 5 rumors. Now, this is a Z Fold 4. I genuinely have been enjoying this device. I do not plan on giving up this device at all, just like I do not plan on giving up my S22 Ultra, a very limited color. And I do not plan on getting rid of this. But this video is about Samsung and their folding lineup. Them coming with a fold, and I'll just go ahead and get my Z Fold, Z Flip 4 out here. Them coming with a new foldable device very soon is intriguing to a lot of people because you'll see a lot of videos now that we're getting closer to launch where people are talking about what they wished for. Folding devices are a thing, and what we want is a folding device that can fold flat, like this beautiful thin device right here. This is the Surface Duo. I will not get rid of that device at all, man. Such a beautiful device. I will continue to use it. But with Samsung, a lot of people feel like they should make this device wider and shorter, basically kind of mimicking the Oppo Find N series. And I'm not against that, folks. I'm all for change. One thing I really want to see on the Z Fold 5, whenever it drops, is the aluminum sides, the flat sides, like on the Ultra here, this limited Ultra color. It has matte sides all the way around. I do not, and I've never been a fan of the shiny sides. I've always said this through numerous videos. I really hope that they do something about that, and that they really try their best to implement something new when it comes to the design. Now, I'm hopeful and prayerful that they do something other than work on a hinge. You see the dock that's down here. I would like to see them be able to do more with the dock as well as far as the software goes, because that is a Google feature. And the Google Fold might be coming out soon. We don't know yet. We're hopeful that it'll drop in 2023. But for right now, Samsung is the only company in the US that's been consistent with their foldable devices and bringing out new devices. So with Samsung on the rise and on the brink of bringing out a Fold 5, other than making it shorter and wider, what else could we possibly ask them to do? Well, we definitely can tell them when they bring that new hinge to make the device thinner. There's no reason why they can't have a 5,000 or 6,000 milliamp hour battery in one of these devices. They always give excuses about why they can't. You're a technology king. Make it happen if you really want to please your customers. As far as the cameras go, they don't have to bring anything crazy. But I would like to see continue with this design. Even if they make a design completely like the Ultras on the back, it wouldn't bother me at all. I just want them to do something even better with the cameras as far as processing goes. Because when I put out the video on the S23 Ultra, I got my dummy units in, I got some cases in. I haven't worked on those yet, but the S22 Ultra, folks, I think there was some confusion in that video because, yeah, I know that there's going to be different internals. But a lot of you guys are just buying into the hype, believing exactly what you're hearing already when we don't know much about the device. The point of that video was to tell you they're not being creative with the hardware. A lot of companies do this, but for the price of these devices, they need to do something different. They're going to have to do something great to bring more customers in and make people continue to buy. The only reason people buy from Samsung is because they have some of the best trade-ins. They take back their old devices and you pretty much get the new device at half off or less. And they give you a bunch of free stuff in there, earbuds, watch, all these other things just to keep you into their phones. But if they weren't giving any of that stuff away and they didn't have those trade-ins and they did more like Apple does, where they don't give as much for the trade-in and no perks, people wouldn't praise the Samsung devices like that, I think. One thing people do talk about the Samsung devices is how they're no good on the resale value. You don't need to resell Samsung's devices. You can just give them back to Samsung and get a ton of money back for them and get the new device. But that's their plan, is to keep you in their ecosystem. And so with that, I have no intentions on giving up this burgundy Z Fold 4. The device works great. Everything on it is good. If they change the design, okay, that still doesn't mean I'm going to give this one up. They're going to have to do something spectacular. Giving me $1,000 for this device, that's just not enough. I mean, it's going to have to look completely different and they're just gonna have to do something great. If I do a trade-in, I don't want to trade in my Z Fold 4. I don't want to trade in any of these devices right here. The only one I probably would let go is this one right here if they change the Z Flip 5 enough. But if they don't, it'll stay here. It'll stay here, and the trade-in values with Samsung, they sound good, but they're just not worth it when you think about what you're actually upgrading to. Buying into the hype again for the S20 Ultra that it's going to have a better processor, it's going to have better cameras, better speakers. We don't know this yet. A person can tell you all day, this is a fact. It's not a fact until you get it in your hands and you determine what you like. That's the way it has to be. That's the way it should be. And when it comes to the Fold 5, I could sit on video and give you a total wish list of all these different things, but they're going to be exactly probably what you want. Bigger battery, better cameras, better screen, different hardware. Ultimately, that's what we're really asking them for. And the fact is, are they actually going to do it? That is the thing. I want Samsung. I don't care if they turn a profit or not. I close all my stocks with them. So I'm not a shareholder or anything like that. So why would I care if they're making money or making sales? As a consumer, I don't freaking care. I want the best product at the best price for whatever I think is the best. You know what I'm saying? So you should too. You should always be trying to spend the least amount of money as possible. Now, the upside to Samsung's products is that you can give them back. This device right here is what, $1,000? I got a 256 gig, so it was $1,050 or something like that. They'll buy this back for 90% of that price probably on trade-in, and then I get the other device free. That's the only perk I see from Samsung at this point. Trading in my S22 Ultra for the S23 Ultra for a different color, and the claim that it's going to have better batteries, better cameras, and better. It's just not enough. I need a device to look different. And yeah, they're not the only ones that's doing it. Apple does it. Motorola does it. All these companies do it. But those devices, some of them don't cost what these devices cost. This is a 512 gig, a 512 gig, and a 256 gig. 2,000 MSRP, and I forgot what this one was. Is it like 15 or 12 or 13? I don't know what it is. $13.99 for the 512. I know this one is $10.50 or whatever. But this is this is the 256. The 12 gig the 256 gig is $10.50. But I think my wife has a 512 like this, and I think hers was, what is it, $12.99? I'm not sure, but point is, these devices are expensive. And so if companies are going to bring out a new device every year, we shouldn't have to make videos or make all these special requests, because what they're doing is they're nitpicking us along the way. We are always going to be the test dummies for these devices, because they're going to listen to you complain and whine for a year, and then they'll give you one little thing and say it's a small incremental upgrade, but the internals are better. No one really is using these devices to the full potential, probably other than people who are creators, and I'm just talking about YouTube creators. I'm talking about creators, content creators. The world is bigger than YouTube. So you've got people that run their website from these devices, especially website owners. If you have this device, you are killing it. If you have the Fold 4, you're killing it, man. You're killing it because you have an S Pen that's going to get you through those times of editing. When editing something, I like PowerDirector Pro. And when editing something, this is my go-to right here, man. You can see some projects I've done on here. This is edits. I think I deleted the footage. Oh, no, that's not the one. I was working on something else. Yeah, this is something I was doing. We won't get into that one. Let's just see, what was I doing here? I deleted the footage, but nonetheless, editing on here is phenomenal. Let's see if I still got this footage. Yeah, I deleted it all. I delete some of this footage. I might have deleted the content, but I can tell you, folks, a person with their workflow, this is just a monster of a device, man. It is a monster of a device. Being able to have the S Pen and the S Pen suite on this big canvas right here, this is great. Samsung shouldn't have to be told this is what you need to do on your next iteration of this device. Because you can rest assured, they already have another generation of this already created. They're just waiting, seeing how much money they can get from us off the current devices. We're just funding the next device. I don't really have a major wish list for the Fold 5. I just want it to look different, have better battery, and stronger cameras, because the camera, and to be clear, all of these phones right here have phenomenal cameras and great battery. So at least to my standards, they are really good, especially the S22 Ultra and the Z Fold 4. It's the processor inside is what's making this one so good now. And the Z Flip 4, it got a major upgrade in the battery and the processor and internals and software. So it's a major win for us. But how long are we going to stay in this loop of buying these devices, then giving them back to Samsung, and then getting the next device just because they're giving us a little bit of a discount? I want something completely different. Like I said, like you, I want a better design. I want bigger batteries. I want stronger cameras. I would love for Android to have a default editing piece of software like iMovie. I've been saying this for years, but Samsung doesn't have a video editor. They used to have one, but it's nowhere near as intuitive or detailed as something as simple as iMovie. Did you guys know that when I'm on my Mac operating system, I no longer use the paid version. I just use basic. I don't use Final Cut anymore. I just use iMovie. You know, everybody's at a different place where editing. But when I'm using Android, I had to purchase editing software, and you know, it's good. It's better than iMovie. To be clear, PowerDirector Pro is much better than iMovie. However, it's not free. There's a free version, but it's super limited, and they know that you're going to want to buy the paid version, the premium version. But it's up to you to determine what you think you would want on the Fold 5. I'm telling you, we should not be at a place where we're still telling these companies this is what we really need. They know what we need, folks. They're just not giving it to us. They're pinching us. They're grabbing all the funds and then keeping the funds and giving us a little bit of product extra every time. So how to break that cycle? Don't buy the new product. That's the only way we can do it. And that goes for anything in our lives. You want to stop the flow of something and bring the price down? Don't buy it. Enough people don't buy it, the company will say that it's a flop and they'll start trying to get rid of it. Then you'll catch what's called a fire sale. And that happens to devices. It happened to BlackBerry. It happened to Surface Duo. And unfortunately, this is actually a great device, but it failed in the hardware section. So, you know, that was a wrap. There's nothing we can do about it. Anyway, the Fold 5, rumor mill, all these different things that are coming about. I just want them to make it different in every way they could possibly can. But the real question is, will they do it? It's your man Jay. What are you looking for? What are you wishing for? What are you hoping for? Or are you good with your Fold 4 no matter what? Where you're just not going to upgrade? Because some of you guys have financed this and you got 2 years to pay for it, 3 years. Mine is paid for. Like some people's, theirs are paid off and paid in full or whatever. I bought mine directly from Samsung, obviously, so I couldn't. This isn't one that I could finance with Carrier or whatever. I got all these other unlocked models, as a matter of fact, and bought directly from Samsung. No financing, just pay for it. But I will finance the device, man. If I want something bad enough and I don't want to kick out that $2-3 grand, like these prices are going to start going up, phones and devices and stuff are going to be $2,500, $3,000 in the next year or so. I'm not going to be kicking that kind of cash out. I will do some trade-ins and or just put it on my credit card or something like that. I don't know. But we'll figure out something. What are you looking for the Z Fold 5? Or are you just going to stick with the Z Fold 4? I'll see you in the next one. Take care.